And thank you for this, letting me borrow this. And I don't really need to have the sound on it, but basically I just wanted to say what he was saying at the bottom, that he's saying the horizon awaits us, and those of Europe, and those of the entire planet. You must know that those observing us from afar are worried. I've seen, heard, and listened to several leaders of other planets who are very worried because they are wondering about the path that Europe is going to pursue. This is, of course, regarding Brexit. And so we need to reassure Europeans and those who are observing us from afar. I guess we need to reassure them we're not losing our minds. Well, first, we have to, I guess, fully disclose that they're out there, that aliens exist, so that we can assure them that we're smart enough to know that they're out there, so that we can prove that actually we should be allowed to exist. And there are some who are fighting for our extermination. Let's call it the call, or the agenda, or the resurrection, or the rapture, or whatever label you want to put on it. Armageddon, Revelations, it doesn't matter. It's all basically the same things. They're all con jobs. And in one way, form, fashion, or the other. But what I need to read to you is this. This was the document that they released. Relationships with extraterrestrial men present basically new problems from the standpoint of international law, but the possibility of confronting intelligent beings that do not belong to the human race would bring up problems or solutions that is difficult to conceive. So they're pretty clueless at this point what they're going to do. Should something come up and it not be really friendly and just, well, that was easy to understand each other and communicate, but what if it turns sour? All right, so in principle, there's no difficulty in accepting the possibility of coming to an understanding with them and of establishing all kinds of relationships. All kinds of relationships. The difficulty lies in trying to establish the principles on which these relationships should be based. For example, our entire world isn't even united yet. We have so many different cultures. I think when I visited New York, I heard there was over 1,000 different languages spoken there. So that's not very united of us. And if an alien were to land and say, "Take me to your leader," then what? Which one? Who? Who's going to represent us? Do we have someone? That lady? Does she know? Is she qualified to do that? I mean, for real? Because I'd really like to consult with her about some things about the history of this planet that she may not be aware of. I'll get to that in a few moments, but let's continue. In the first place, it would be necessary to establish communications with them through some language or other, and afterwards, as a first condition for all intelligence, that they should have a psychology, similar to that of men. So right away, we're already saying you assimilate to us, and we're going to work on assimilating with you. We'll have some of your people, kind of give you that designated area. We'll call it maybe Area 51. You can have some of your people come around and hang out. We'll send some of our people through abductions to you. We'll do a little trade for a while and see how everybody gets along and see what goes on. But when you look at everything that is really happening in the world, and you realize that, hey, the aliens that they're talking about and getting our planet together to, fight them off and ward them off. Do you see the size of this thing? Let's see, my mouse sitting there. Do you see the mouse sitting there? Okay. That's probably the size of Earth. And how about this thing right here? Let's forget the size thing, that it's as big as planet Earth, if you'll notice. Oh, we zoomed in. So, maybe even bigger than Earth, we don't know, but it can stand the heat of the sun and seems to be sucking energy right from it. So throw a nuke at it, and it will eat it for breakfast. So, what are we doing negotiating with this thing? Now, I know God created all things great and small. That's a pretty great thing. All things great and small under the sun. Oh, my. So there may be a need for a type of United Nations. Kind of a stalemate on this New World Order fear. Oh my God, they're doing this to take us over. You know, it occurs to me, if there are if there's this other race and they're pretty large, you remember all those coffins? Everybody was saying, look how big they are. They weren't for humans, folks. Those were the casualties of war we were planning on having against them. So there's some things that I want to talk with you guys about. So stay tuned for my next video. I love you. Peace out.